Hello guys, this is Leo from Quotes and Posters, and today I'm going to talk about this poster here, which is: you can't win in life if you're losing in your mind. Right. So, like all the things that we do in our lives and our actions, everything that we do basically is controlled by our thoughts, right? Our brain is the most important part, obviously, of our bodies, and our brain defines who we are. The thing is, our brain and our thoughts, they are defined by everything that we see from the very first beginning years of our lives. Since we're born, everything that we experience, the events that actually happens through our lives, they kind of defines who we are, because they actually create our mind, the way that our mind is. That way, sometimes, and that's why when you see people that have completely different points of view than yours, and completely different ways of looking at life and looking at certain things, you kind of judge them, and you really don't understand how come these people, they actually happened to become this way, right? Like, for example, how can someone believe that they have to hijack an airplane and kill and throw this plane into a tower, into a building? Just an example, right? And then you see this happening to you in your life with the people that you care. You see this everywhere. No, it's not something that is like distant, that we see like watching those documentaries of tribes living in Africa and eating other humans, and then you think, wow, this is so distant from my reality. But then when it's actually you experience this happening in front of you with your own child, for example, like how come your own child becomes something that you as a father would never expect? Or maybe your wife or your close friends, they just transform and they just betray you, and they just become like totally someone else that you never expected. So this happens, and this happens to everyone. And this, basically, coming back to the quote here, it happens because of the mind. And then our mind, it's our worst enemy, and that's why basically this quote, it's saying that you can't win in life if you're losing in your mind, because most of the people, including me, not here saying that I'm somehow special. I'm not. But most of the people, they have problems with their mind. They have serious damages. Their minds, they got like they have traumas that happens because of things, the way things happen to them in certain aspects of life. Everybody has traumas, and in a way we are deficient in our mind. Everybody is deficient in their minds in many different aspects. And I'm never actually. Everybody has some sort of problems in their mind. Nobody's like 100% free of them. But obviously, some people have more, and other people have less. But since you can't control other people, and it's extremely difficult for you to actually change someone's mind, you can try, but you're gonna see, and I tried many times with people that I cared, but then you just see that it's impossible, right? You just reach a point where you're just wasting your time. So you can't change other people's mind, but you can change yours if you want. And if you feel that you are having problems and your mind is basically, you're just out of your mind, that you think that life, your mind is really sabotaging you, because you see that this is the first step for you to become a better person. I think the first step is to actually identify that you have a problem in your mind, because you see, most people, they have a problem with their minds, and most people, they don't even understand that. They don't even recognize that they have a problem with their minds, you know. So they don't look for help. They think they're fine. But they're not. And it's pretty crazy, right? Because some people even like already went to psychologists, and they think they got cured, but then they go on and do the same things, and sometimes even worse than they used to do before. And they're not cured at all, but in their minds they think they are. And this is the most crazy thing, you know. And another crazy thing is that you have people which are inside mental hospitals, but you have people outside of mental hospitals that are much worse, but they're free because they're smart, and they're really like sick people inside of their mind. They're bad people, you know, like bad dictators, for example. And they put themselves into positions of power where they can actually say, and they can actually dictate who is good and who is not, and who is crazy and who is not, and they can control the rules. So basically we are living now in a society where in a world where you have sick people and you have people like with serious mind issues in positions of power, controlling and telling who is and who is not healthy in their minds, and who is crazy and who's not. So basically, yes, we live in a world full of contrasts, and we live in a world where basically it's really hard to say who is right and who's wrong and who's crazy and who's not. It's really hard to say. So what's the point here? The point that I'm trying to get? I guess the point that I'm trying to get is that only you are able to actually change your mind. And if you identify that you have a problem in life, if you see that you have some problem based on your self-esteem, based on things that happened to you in the past, I certainly have a problem. I do have a problem, many problems in my mind. Then if you are able to actually recognize that and identify that, and only you can actually do it, only you can recognize that, you can start changing your mind, and or at least trying, right? Because the thing is, after you reach this phase where you recognize that you have a problem in your mind, that your mind is actually sabotaging you to live a great life and to live the life that you could be living, I think then you already made a huge step, right, in the progress of your life. But then you actually have to make a much bigger step, and I think it's to be honest, I think it's an ongoing step. It's a step where it's never ending actually, because there's always gonna be improvements in your mind, or at least some kind of maintenance, right? Because think of your mind like your body, right? Think like think of the mind like the body, and you constantly need to eat healthy food, and you need good sources of food, and you need to actually keep exercising yourself, because if you don't burn calories, if you don't exercise yourself, your body will deteriorate. So think about that also now, converting to the mind, because this is something that people really is a concept that people don't grasp, that the mind needs as much maintenance as the body, right? And that's an interesting concept for you to grasp and to think about it. So if you already recognize that you have a problem with your mind, which is great, because I think everybody does, but not everybody wants to understand and wants to accept, or actually wants to see it. Then now you have to like make a routine, and you have to actually find mechanisms and ways that you can nurture your mind in a good way, and that you can always keep your mind busy with great stuff, with great things, you know. And I think that's the most hard thing for you to do, you know, because you need to train your mind, right? You need to get your mind like training, you know, like in the gym. And people say that meditation is a great training for the mind, right? And meditation is basically not doing anything and staying like 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, or even a day not doing anything. And some people, they go into meditation retreats where they stay 1 week and even 1 month doing nothing, which is very interesting. It's a very interesting concept. I wish I could do that at some point in my life. Now I can't, unfortunately. But you see, like, these people, they kind of recognize that all the main issue and the root of your problems it comes from your mind. And these people, they are really smart and they understand that. And I think you are, because you're watching this video, it means that you're also interested in that. And it's something that is so easy to forget, you know, like when I'm just doing my stuff, I'm doing my work and I'm dealing with day-to-day situations, like it's so easy to forget about all these things. And you know, it's so easy for your mind to actually go back to your old habits and the stuff that you see, the things that you watch. Like you're just feeding your mind with rubbish, and then your mind, it's coming with these negative thoughts all the time on you. All the time your mind is worrying and it's coming with these things, and it's like a monkey, right? There's this joke saying that your mind is like a drunk monkey bitten by a scorpion, which is true. It's true. And I think it's incredible how much we don't know yet about our mind, like how human beings and science haven't actually really developed much about knowledge about the mind. And I think we are now, with the rise of social media, I think now we are getting more and more, actually we're getting more of this understanding, not understanding, we're being like conscious about how this is actually affecting our minds and affecting our lives in ways that we actually haven't seen and haven't imagined. And yes, so basically what I was saying, I think that you have to find a routine to clear your mind, you know, and to try to have good thoughts. Or sometimes maybe one solution would be to actually just keep your mind busy. Because keep your mind busy doing the things that you love, you know. Keep your mind busy doing things that you believe, doing things that you're happy doing. because when you keep your mind busy, then at least you are, and if you're keeping your mind busy with good things, because you see, if you keep your mind busy with bad things, like imagine you're like watching bad TV shows, watching TV and these stupid things, these things are really damaging your mind. And if you keep your mind busy with these things, it's like basically going to a fast food restaurant and stuffing yourself with bad food, right? It's the same analogy. So I think that you have to keep your mind busy, or try to find ways of keeping your mind busy with good things in your mind, with good activities, with good people. Surround yourself. Is about the environment. For example, as much as you want to be healthy, if you want to be healthy, you want to surround yourself with healthy people and happy people. It's the same in the mind. If you want to be good with your mind and have a good mind, you want to surround yourself with good people, with people that have good good ideas, inspiring people. You want to be with inspiring people. You want to be surrounded by that, you know. You want to be really surrounded by good things, good books to read, by good movies, good art, creativity, things that inspires you. And you want to remove yourself from these things that are actually gonna damage your mind, you know, like, I don't know, maybe the tragedies of life. I'm not sure if watching the news and watching these things and politics, watching politicians talk like Trump and these things, I really don't know if these kind of things are gonna be good for your mind, you know. You want to avoid them, you know. But studying history, studying life and history of humanity, getting a notion about society, and actually is interesting, you know. I think that can be a good thing for your mind, because also you don't want to put your mind into a fantasy land, because I think that's also something important, right? Because most of these people, like, they're gonna tell you, oh, surround yourself with goodness and surround yourself with greatness and good people and everything, but the reality of the world is not that. Like, the reality is that we are animals and we are barbarians. We commit atrocities and we are selfish, and this is the reality of the world. But yeah, so be careful here also. I think you gotta find a balance, you know. You gotta be aware, and you gotta understand, like, the world, and you gotta be aware of things about the world and life, but at the time you don't want to be too attached to it, right? Because then you can't create an amazing life for yourself. And I think the way to create an amazing life for yourself is somehow related to this also. Is related to eliminating these bad things as much as you can from your life, you know. try to eliminate them as you can, so you can feed your mind with good things. So basically that's the key takeaway of this video, if there is one, is find ways, put yourself in situations where you can daily have a routine of daily, in your day, in your life, to feed your mind with good things, because then you're gonna win in life. So here's the quote: "You can't win in life if you're losing in your mind," by Tony Gaskins, and see you next time. Bye.